let's take a look at our top selections for the... Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 7 at Keeneland on opening day Friday is the $100,000 Palisades Turf Sprint for 3-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs. Let's take a peek at this field. This race kicks off a $200,000 guaranteed pick 4 at Keeneland on opening day. Mike, Wesley Ward's Golden Pal is going to miss this race with a setback. Never fear if you're a Wesley Ward fan, though. He has the 2 morning line favorites, the 8 Fauci, the 3 Chasing Artie.
Yeah, listen, if nothing else, Golden Pal not being here opens things up for some of the other horses anyway. We'll see how it all plays out. A lot of layoffs in here, Dan. A few horses who have never tried turf before. There's a lot going on.
And a lot of early speed, especially if you look at the Timeform US pace projector. They have this race listed as a fast pace. Blameworthy's going to try turf for the first time, the number 4. We'll see how he handles turf and whether he can, transfer that dirt speed on the turf. The same with the 9 Lock Up. But this pace should be fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 5.5 furlong sprint. They're supposed to be going fast early. Certainly, if the pace projector is right and the number 8 Fauci is 6th early, they're going to be going fast.
Number 1 is Looking for Loki, who turns back to arguably his best distance after tiring in the Black Gold Stakes around 2 turns. 3 starts back on turf. I thought this horse was very game to win for $50,000. It took him a long time to change leads in the stretch, but once he did, he collared the pace setter.
Yeah, he was very game to win that race. I liked that performance from him, and it got a figure too, Dan. I mean, an 85 buyer puts him right in the mix here in this race. It feels like he's probably just at his best sprinting on turf, where both of his wins have come.
I'm expecting the number 2 Bodenheimer to be a bit more forwardly placed than where the pace projector has him. He went gate to wire over course and distance in the Indian Summer last fall, and then pushed a hot pace in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. That was a solid performance. Golden Pal's a nice horse, and we've seen Cowan come back to run second in 3 stakes races on dirt.
Yeah, that was just a really tough spot for him in the Breeders' Cup. They took their shot in there. He didn't, totally embarrass himself. His Indian Summer over this turf course, over this distance, he was good in there.
Chasing Artie was dangled for $15,000. 2 starts back over a synthetic surface. And he lost after opening up a big lead. Well, Wesley got him down to Gulfstream, and he scored in this maiden special weight. He's a big, good-looking son of We Miss Artie. And as they turn into the stretch, Chasing Artie was able to shake loose after controlling a moderate pace. They're coming after him, but he really doesn't face any issues. And this runner-up, the beaten favorite Wara, came back to earn a fig on dirt in 87 when graduating.
Right. That horse did win next out, but it wasn't a turf race. This horse ran, fine here. He obviously took to the grass, Dan. He also had I thought, a pretty soft trip in there. I mean, they didn't really come after him early. You could see around the turn, he was just going very easily on a clear lead with his ears up. He had plenty left through the stretch.
He's going to get a much sterner test, not only from a class standpoint, but likely from a pace situation as well. Blameworthy is the number 4, as we mentioned earlier. He's going to be trying turf for the first time. His sire, Blame, does well with turf horses. There's a lot of dirt on the bottom here. The dam was a stakes winner going long on the dirt. This is a full brother to Put the Blame on Me, who was grade 3 placed going long on the dirt as well. So it'll be curious to see how he handles the turf. I think they might go a little fast for him.
Yeah, that was my problem with him. Not only did I not find really enough turf pedigree to get me interested, but the pace scenario feels like it has to work against this horse.
A long shot that I think deserves some consideration is the 5, Smokin' Jay, another horse trying turf for the first time. 2 starts back at Presque Isle Downs. They ran him in a stakes race on the Tapeta. He broke slow. He kind of rushed up to push the pace, and he tired. And the winner of that race is a decent horse who came back to run second in the Awad with an 82 buyer. And last time out, he was not embarrassed against a very live field on dirt that was led home by Mandaloon.
He did face a good field in his dirt debut the last time we saw him. I agree with you. I think this horse is pretty dangerous switching to turf for the first time. I guess the problem for him just could be a fast pace, could work against this horse because he feels like he wants to be forward, but I'm not going to be surprised if he takes a step forward here.
The number 6 Rustler, a lot of folks might just completely dismiss because he hasn't run since July. He is a maiden facing winners. I really like this horse's debut at Churchill Downs. I think he got caught up in a lot of trouble in that race, and he finished an okay 3rd. And last time out against Fauci, he was running on at the end. It's a big ask, obviously, off this kind of a layoff, but if this pace is fast, maybe Rustler at a price. I know you like him a bit.
Yeah, it feels like that could be his advantage if they go fast in front of him this time. I'm with you. His career debut was actually a pretty good effort in a race where a county final just got loose and wired that field. This horse steadied very hard on the turn. He actually ran a little bit at the end of that race, but it was already over. I don't know about you, Dan. I thought he ran fine the last time we saw him. He was behind a couple of these horses, but always down inside chasing. He had an alter course in the stretch. I thought he ran pretty well on that.
The number 7, United and Resolute, has been trying to get back on the turf, or so it appears. 3 off the turf races in a row at the fairgrounds. Let's go back to his most recent start at Kentucky Downs, his 3rd lifetime start. Now, he's the beaten favorite in this maiden race. He kind of fell far behind early. He comes with a run, and the horse that finished second in here would come back to run second again, but in the Grade 3 Futurity at Belmont with a 78 buyer. So I think United and Resolute faced a good field, and it looks like he can sit and finish.
It does. And that's what I think you would like about him, Dan. At both of his turf races so far, he's done the same thing, sort of sat it out early and then came with a little bit of a run at the end. That includes his career debut, by the way, where Fauci beat him. I mean, this horse was really rallying in there. It actually looked like he had the momentum through the stretch. But Fauci was a little too good for him at that time. That may not be the case anymore.
Fauci was able to win that race that we just saw over United and Resolute. Rustler finished 3rd in that race, and then he came back and was just no match for Golden Pal in the Skidmore. Again, Golden Pal is very good. And then in Kentucky Downs, not embarrassed by Out of Door, who came back to run 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf with an 84 buyer. Now, this horse, I think, has the right running style for this race. He is going to have to deal with a little bit of a layoff, and he's going to get money.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you like him in here, and I don't see any reason really not to like him, Dan, he's probably just going to be a short price. However, his maiden win over this turf course was a good effort. I thought he did a lot of hard work in that race and still held on. He ran fine in his next 2 starts against better horses.
Yeah, let's watch Fauci's race in the Juvenile Turf Sprint at Kentucky Downs. Soft going this day. Out of Door does beat him. Again, Out of Door came back to run very, very well. I thought, again, Fauci ran just fine. He'll socially distance himself away from Cowan as easily clear for second. Cowan, of course, did some nice things after this start. Fauci has the right running style. Lock Up is the number 9. Lock Up is going to try turf for Wayne Lucas, Mike. This horse has shown a lot of speed on dirt. Big question mark on the grass.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried him on turf a couple of times, and it did not go well. He's also another horse who just wants to be forward in this race, and there's a lot of speed to his inside.
And 50-1 on the morning line for a big, big outsider. That's the 10 JC's Champ, who won for $30,000 2 starts back, was offered for $50 most recently, and was nowhere after a poor break. Tries turf for the first time.
Hey, he just seems hard to like in this spot, but you're going to get a big price if you could find a reason.
Top pick time for the Palisades Turf Sprint, kicking off a $200,000 guaranteed pick 4. You're going for big balloons with Rustler.
Dan, we'll see what happens. I don't love that he's a maiden coming back off of a layoff against the field like this, but I actually like both of his races last year as a 2-year-old. And if he's improved at all during the downtime, he catches a pace to run at here, he could make it interesting.
Smokin' Jay the 5, the 7 United and Resolute might be 2 horses I'd like to use from the back of the pack at prices. Chasing already intrigues me, though. His turf debut is, I thought, good. It'll be interesting to see if maybe he can sit off of another horse. Ward keeps the faith for Rosario. Fauci, the horse to beat, but as Mike mentioned, not sure I want to take too short a price coming off the bench. 3,857 for me, 6,812 for Mike. It is the Palisades Turf Sprint, one of 3 stakes races at Keeneland on opening day Friday. Best of luck.